Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope everyone is doing great on this Wednesday in April. Well, I'm on here. I wanted to discuss some things. I had started a video, and then my phone camera was talking about it was not enough storage. I don't know what's going on with these devices. I don't understand what they do with the storage thing. But anyway, I wanted to make a comment about my glasses look crooked. Jesus. I wanted to make a comment uh, about the spring break with some of these teenagers in the urban cities. Um, and before I go there, I want to piggyback to when the drug epidemic was at its highest. Okay, they try to put um, heroin in. Well, they did. I don't know. Try. They did, and it didn't reach the effect that they wanted it to reach. So they threw in this crack cocaine. Now, let me tell you about that. At first, it was a rich person's drug because some of the famous rich people was strung out on it. And one person in particular, Richard Pryor, back then they called it freebasing. And he was freebasing. He ended up burning himself and all this and that. And so then, some other famous people that was strung out on it as well. So it then trickled down to the urban community. And it didn't take long for you to look crazy after you done took it. Because I was watching people. Um, this month, they was looking straight. 3 months later, they was looking like, who are you and who did that to you and don't do it no more. But they was strung out. And it had their mind captured captivated because they wanted to get back to that high they had the very first time, and they wasn't really getting there. But anyway, the drug game was at its all-time high. It was, at its peak stage. And so then these parents, these mothers was selling their children to the drug people, and the drug people was raping them and molesting them and sometimes killing them and all this type of stuff. And at the same time, a lot of the grandparents who thought that they were finished raising children had to end up raising their grandchildren because the parents were strung out, the men and the women. They were strung out. Some of them still strung out today. Seriously. Um, I'm in my 60s, so they was my age and older than I. I'm in my 60s, so some of them might be in their 70s today. Okay, and so that took a generation out. It did worse than the heroin because these crack people they was stealing. They would steal your shoes off your feet standing at the bus stop. Okay, the people on heroin they was stealing, but it wasn't to the magnitude as the people that was on crack. Okay, so some children were born crack addicted, just like some people when mothers was on heroin, they was born heroin addicted. And so um it was awful. But anyway, here we have a generation of children raised by their grandparents. Not saying the grandparents didn't do a wonderful job, but by this time, grandparents tired. You know, they just want to see their grandkids visit and then send them back home to their parents, but they couldn't, right? And so it's a whole generation of kids that was raised by their parents. Now, this generation of children that I'm referring to are raising children. Okay, and then their children are raising children. Okay, so it's like, um, oh, I forgot to add. During that time, The government, always watch the government. I don't trust them. The government gonna put in all types of things about child abuse. Because when I was growing up, it wasn't no child abuse if you didn't, like break somebody's arm or, stuff like that. Now they put in child abuse. You couldn't do nothing. If you looked at them this way, it was child abuse. If you said this, it was child abuse. If you coughed in front of their face, it was child abuse. Everything's child abuse. And also during that time, I think they was taking a lot of kids out of their house, sex trafficking. Okay, but let me get off of that. But anyway, um, so now here's a generation that that's that's in high school. These teenagers. So they mom was probably raised was a baby of crack, or their parents was probably a baby raised as was on their parents was probably born on crack addiction. Let me get that right. And then you have some that was raised parents was raised by their grandparents or a close family member. Okay. And so now here go now when they put in those laws about child abuse, they wasn't leaving no room for you to raise your child. You had to do what they said. Even if grandma took the baby in, there were certain things grandma couldn't raise them like she raised hers or whatever. Because I'm gonna tell you, they was really and they still are strict. Now, I retired from the school system, right? And the years I was there, I could see the difference in behaviors of the children, the difference in the behavior of the parents. Yes. And it's like the parents don't want you to say nothing to their child. Their child is always right. And the school system, the staff, you're always wrong. They want the staff to sit there and get beat up by the kids. Don't hit the kids. Just get beat up. They don't say just get beat up, but they say you can't touch them. So if a child hits you, and I'm not talking about no little kid, I'm talking about kids your size and stuff. They they expect you to just sit up there and get hit and get beat up, right? And it was like now the kids ain't scared of nobody and nothing. That come from the government. The kids is not scared of no one, nobody, nothing. Okay? It was a setup from the get up. I'm telling you. And so now you got kids out here that they don't have no respect for nobody, not even themselves. And the laws like you can't touch them. But the law says the police can harass them, beat them up, handcuff their little 11 and 12-year old and stuff like that. The government said the same people that implemented this mess says that we're going to try your 10, 11-year old as an adult. Black people. Because they destroyed the village. They destroyed the village during that time. The village was destroyed. And so it was done intentionally. It was done on purpose. Yes, that was done on purpose. So I'm not trying to belittle no one that might have been born addicted to any drugs. I'm not trying to belittle any parents that became addicted to the drugs. I'm not trying to belittle any grandparents that had to raise their grandchildren. I'm not trying to belittle anyone. I'm just stating the facts of what happened and why we're here today. And why these young people are not scared to do anything. Because they know you're an adult. You can't hit me. You can't do nothing to me, but I can send you to jail. The government. I'm blaming it all on the government and the parents that were not addicted and the adults that was not addicted for even allowing them to do that. And I was, an adult during that time, but I'm gonna tell you. But this is why these children are doing what they want to do. Because when they're in school, they don't respect none of the staff. The parents come up to the school buildings, want to fight everybody. Their child can be absolutely wrong, but they gonna defend the wrong that their child did. That don't make sense to me. You setting your own child up too. When I was growing up, my parents didn't say you don't respect them and you can respect them. We didn't. You respect all adults, and if adults say or do something, then you come tell us because we're the adult and we handle the adults. That's what I did with my daughter. I told her, no, don't disrespect no adult. You come tell me what they did. I will go talk to the adult. But I wasn't going up there to jump on nobody. But but they listen to my voice. I guess they will get intimidated. But that's just my voice. That's the way I talk, and it is what it is. But because I was working at a school and she was, so it's like, let me handle them. You respect them, let me handle them because I can disrespect them. And some of these parents, y'all just, what's wrong with you people? Some of y'all, too. I'm sorry, I have to say this. When your child is a teenager, you cannot be their friend. I am sorry. Because when you gave birth to them children or child, they didn't say, here go your friend. You gave birth to a baby friend, a baby girlfriend, or a baby boyfriend. They didn't say that was your friend. You don't have no business being friends with a teenager. And even if it ain't your child, you have no business being friends with a teenager at all. I'm not friends with no children. I'm not. They can never say that I'm their friend because it ain't going to happen. Now they can say um, she was nice and she was mean and all that. But they can never say that I was their friend because I don't believe in that. Okay? And you're definitely not coming to my house if you're not related to me. And some of them don't come either. So I'm just keeping it real. You have to let them know that you're the child. I'm the adult. I am not your friend. I'm here to guide you and tell you right from wrong, but I am not your friend. I can crack certain jokes, we can laugh, but I'm not your friend. I'm sorry. That's me. I'm sorry. But unfortunately, some of you parents need to be there. It's a time and place for everything. When your child getting a certain age, taking care of themselves, perhaps the friendship can come. But when you still raising them, no, there is no friendship. That is mother, father, childship. We got to get out of that. That's why these kids doing what they doing. Y'all want to be friends. Y'all want to sit I'm smoking a joint or a blunt or whatever with your children. And they 15 and 16. Get out of here. No. Mm-mm. And even when they become an adult, you shouldn't be doing it. No. It's certain things parents should not be doing with their children. If they drink, you drink. No, you should not be drinking with them. I don't care if they 50 and you 100. No, no. You should not be doing those things with your children. No. Whoo. We have to know our place, people. We are the parent. I remember one time I took my daughter, she invited her friends out because back then, Fridays was the place, you know. So I took her and her friend and friends and some of them met her there. I didn't go in, I went inside for a minute, scoped stuff around to see where they were sitting. Got me something to eat. I went back to my vehicle. I didn't go inside because I'm the mother. And guess what? I was gonna be a mother to everybody. Because that's me. So I was like, I'm gonna let her enjoy her birthday. I'm going to sit in the car. You know, things was happening, but not to the extent that they're happening now. I wouldn't do that now, but things wasn't like like it is now. But anyway, cause I know if I was been in there, I would been everybody's mother, and they'd been looking at me like I'm crazy. But that's just how I'm cut, you know. So, but if you're raising children today, parents, you're not their friend. You have to let them know you're not their friend. And certain things you do not do around your children. I don't care if they um, grown and got great grandchildren. There's certain things you don't do around them. Certain things they shouldn't do around you either. Okay? We have to get that village back. Parents, I'm not trying to disrespect you, but you have to get some common sense. Seriously. Because the government want this to happen. Let me tell you something about the government. They don't just say, well, we're going to do this today. Stuff was already planned, baby girl, baby boy. Stuff was already planned. When they implemented that crack cocaine into the urban cities, even though it hit the cities that they didn't think it was going to hit, kind of worse than it hit the urban cities. But nevertheless, they didn't think it was going to hit their cities at all. But let me tell you, when they implemented that, they had already planned certain things. Things don't just happen overnight. Just like the orange person that's running, supposed to be running the country. He didn't just think of this term. He thought of that the first time he ever ran. He didn't get a chance to implement it the first time. He was about to. That's why he didn't get elected again until now. But what he's doing now was planned already. It didn't just happen. I just want you guys to understand. Like the government already got something to come after that. The ice epidemic and all that. And you want to know why the ancestors telepathically told everybody at the same time, sit down and rest? Because we're about to fight. Yes. I don't know when. I don't know why. I don't know how. But yeah, we're about to. They coming. That's why they doing everything about the birth rights and all these type of things. Because they know legally they can't do anything to us because some of us was here before colonization and And then when colonization happened in 1400s. So we've been here 1400s, 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, 20,000s, 7 generations. We are actually here longer than them. So people, I'm just saying, parents, you need to sit down and have a one-on-one down to earth talk with these kids because they do have something planned. And we got to be prepared and ready. And your children got to be prepared and ready. You got to get that disrespecting people and all this other stuff out of their mind. And if it's in your mind, you need to get it out your mind. Cause I'm betting 50% is in your mind. You better start thinking of strategies. Pay attention to the government. Just pay attention. But no, everything be planned before it happened. It was planned for grandparents to start raising their kids or whoever. It all that stuff was in the plan. It didn't just happen. That's what we got to remember. Stuff don't just happen. To you it's just happening because they're just not putting it to your attention. But they planned it 10, 12 years ago. Better wake up and quit playing. Now, I know my other video I had when I was talking a couple of days ago got cut short because the device was saying that I was out of storage. But I was getting ready to talk. It stopped on spirituality. So I'm going to make a separate video about that altogether. But I just want to come on here. Black people, wake up. Wake up. Your kids don't have no time to be going out in the streets doing that stupid stuff, honey. Sir. It's not time for that. They don't have time for that. And y'all blowing it off. Oh, don't say that. Because some of y'all don't like truth. You want everything to be peaches and cream. Mm-mm. Just like our ancestors had to fight, we're going to fight too. We're going through, actually, the things that our ancestors went through is not as bad as what we're going through, but we're going to go through something. But our ancestors wasn't weak. They took a licking and kept on ticking. But somehow, I don't know. Y'all get your kids together. Sit down and talk to them, real talk. Real talk. It's more younger people out here dying than it is the older people. And that's not making sense. Sit down and have conversations. Show them. Live it. Do better. Everything ain't about going to buy all these expensive clothing items and all these wigs that have curses on them. Yes, every wig that you go to the beauty supply store to buy, they didn't put curses on them. They put curses on them, cut it off, and sold it to you. Cut it off the head, sold it. And then when they straighten it up and stuff, they cursing all that here. Because you have to remember, no one like us. But all of them want our money. One way or another. And they're putting curses on that hair. Yes, they are. Just like when you came up, it was saying, pray over your food. You better pray over that hair. Back in the days, it's like get that horsey back his hair. Y'all wonder why y'all letting up fighting, and I ain't never seen so many women fighting. Like, I mean, but anyway, that's another topic. Y'all going crazy for wearing a cursed hair. The hair that you wear is cursed. Buy all that hair from the beauty supply store is cursed. They're saying curses. Don't nobody think about blessing the hair when they get ready to put it in their head. And the hair be itching. I know because been there, done that. Hmm. So, my black sisters and brothers, let's get it together. Let's raise our children better. Black women, let's get rid of that fake hair. Please. Believe it or not, we try to look like them and they want to look like us. They want our hair. But we want to wear hair to look like them. I understand the struggle. I went to cosmetology school. I used to wear that hair. That's how I know it itch and all that stuff. And in my mind, I ain't had no sense to pray over my hair. The hair is cursed. That's all I'm gonna say. And I know everybody gonna say, "Ah, and I'm gonna steal it. I know because I know how black women are. Wear the cursed hair. But anyway, we got to get our children together. We got to reorganize their minds, parents. I know you love your child, but do you really love them? Because if they wouldn't be out here doing that. Time to get the village back. So, with that being said, everybody have a magnificent, fabulous, grand rising day. Bye.